But first, a bit of a follow-on from what we did on Friday night that caused such a stir. Reading, writing, and inciting. That's the focus of tonight's angle. So what does it mean to be an educated person in the United States? For example, at a place like MIT, where the premier minds in mathematics and science, they teach, they learn, they study, would naturally think that would find top-flight speakers, thinkers, and innovators. But then Antifa and BLM showed up.
Defunding, demilitarization, disarmament, and disbandment of the police, and demand immediate dismantlement of all police departments. The liberation of all oppressed peoples necessitates the destruction of the political economic systems of capitalism and imperialism, as well as patriarchy.
No liberation
without revolution.
No liberation
without revolution.
You could hear the MIT community members cheering them on. Well, apparently not aware that without capitalism, many of them wouldn't have scholarships. Without capitalism, the campus wouldn't even exist because those buildings did not build themselves. They were funded by rich alumni who made a lot of money as capitalists. And across the country in Oakland on Friday night, how many college grads were among the smash and burn crowd torching the corporate oligarchy there? Where do they learn this behavior? You ever think about that? The hateful desire to destroy communities, your own community in some cases, and the businesses that employ neighbors and immigrants, minorities, non-minorities. It doesn't come out of nowhere. This is learned behavior. Young people are learning that it's okay to riot and loot when you don't like the outcome of a trial in a faraway state. Imagine if conservatives had the same attitude every time they lost, let's say, an abortion case. Most American cities would just be mounds of rubble by now. But the pro-life community, they don't embrace violence. Not like Auntie Maxine.
Manslaughter. No. This is guilty for murder. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree murder. We got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational.
That woman is kerosene on a raging house fire and should be censured and driven out of Congress. That's what Pelosi would push for if those exact same words were used by a conservative congressman. But because it's Maxine Waters, Pelosi's just running scared. When asked whether Waters incited violence with her comments, Pelosi told the reporter, no, absolutely not. Maxine talked about confrontation in the manner of the civil rights movement. Now, this is the same woman, by the way, who predicated Trump's impeachment on the president urging his supporters to peacefully make their voices heard at the Capitol. Insurrection? That was insurrection on January 6th? Oh, please. In Biden's America, the new normal means that anytime there's a high-profile case where an African-American person loses his or her life at the hands of the police, we should just expect riots.
They're bracing for more potential violence tonight.
Cities across America bracing for unrest as the Derek Chauvin murder trial enters its final days.
Cities from New York and Washington to Chicago and Los Angeles are bracing for protests and potential unrest in the wake of a verdict.
There are a number of people who are concerned that whatever the outcome, there is going to be unrest, perhaps more violence.
Young people especially are being whipped up into a frenzy by an irresponsible media and their biased reporting. On social media, it's happening, and of course in schools. Enter the Biden Education Department. Today it proposed a rule urging the development of culturally responsive teaching in American history and civics, and holding up the widely discredited New York Times 1619 Project as a model. Now, of course, the big lie of the 1619 farce is that America is a systemically racist country, and they go from there. Well, these themes are already being echoed in schools nationwide. As I referenced earlier on Friday, we told you about the Marxist indoctrination happening at the elite Stone Ridge School in Bethesda, Maryland. Public schools, though, they're just as bad. Take, for example, nearby Langley High School in the affluent McLean, Virginia suburb of D.C. Students have been learning from home for the better part of a year, and yet this is how Principal Kim Greer welcomes them back to campus. Despite the jubilation we feel about returning to in-person learning, the pandemic has been framed by social strife. 1 year ago, our country supported the Black Lives Matter movement, and names were remembered such as Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. Okay, the whole country supported Black Lives Matter? Wow, okay. Well, students were also asked to complete an online survey written by 3 Langley teachers. I have asked someone of a different race where they're from. Checkbox, yes or no. In response to BLM and Stop Asian Hate, I have wondered, what about other racial groups? Shouldn't we care about them as well? Again, yes or no. I believe that privilege based on skin color is a myth. Again, that's a yes or no. I have referred to the coronavirus as the China virus before. I have tried speaking English with an accent, for example, Southern US, British, Australian, etc. Yes or no? Oh, and this gem, this is my favorite. I think my Asian peers are really good at math. Apparently, saying yes to that is really bad. At the end of the survey, the students are instructed that if they answered yes to any of those questions, that could be considered a microaggression. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, students were then told to watch videos from something called #Let'sTalkBias.
I was protesting a couple of days ago downtown, and this black man stopped me, and because we were holding a Black Lives Matter sign, and he's like, it starts with, you guys put your bodies in front of us, you know, and just like stand up. I am very androgynous in the way that I dress and express myself, and I've gotten threatening looks and those vibes, like I know what you're saying, where it's hard to explain to people, like, what are you talking about? They're afraid of what they don't know, so them trying to figure me out, is she a boy, is she a girl?
I identify as transgender nonconforming. I basically wake up and every single day is a little gender reveal party to myself. When I would go to work and have to wear a uniform with a tie, I would purposefully find 1 or 2 things to express my gender.
There's a bunch of black people getting beat up, killed, choked out, and abused that you will never see because it wasn't taped. But this has been going on for decades. We've been being beaten and locked up for no reason and the whole 9.
Well, all of this is a product of schools moving toward cultural authenticity in education. And the Biden administration is going all in. So you're going to hear words like allyship, something the left claims white children especially need to do. It's described in the Langley literature as a lifelong process in which people with privilege and power work to develop empathy toward other marginalized groups' challenges or issues. Now look, empathy is always good, across the board. But here, it's weaponized. Non-diverse students are being taught to remain silent. Don't complain. Certainly don't complain if you lose out on jobs, scholarships, or college admissions when diversity, equity, and inclusion is at stake. Join the fight in the streets, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get some social justice credit on your resume. Unless parents start getting really vocal and saying, no, you will not subject my kids to racial litmus tests, we're going to continue to see the situation deteriorate in our schools, and ultimately, that ends up spilling out into the streets. Now, I'll end with one of my favorite quotes about the types of people pushing this nonsense, our so-called intelligentsia. A great majority of the so-called educated people do not think logically and scientifically. Even the press, the classroom, the platform, and the pulpit, in many instances, do not give us objective and unbiased truths. The man who said that was Martin Luther King Jr. Wouldn't objective, unbiased truths be nice right about now? And that's The Angle.